Islanders, listen to this. A very scary situation at one port of call as a cruise ship broke free from the pier because of high winds and collided with a freight ship as well. The cruise ship, for the most part, is okay, but had enough damage that some passengers have to end their cruise, get off the ship, and go home, while other passengers stay on board and enjoy their cruise. We'll talk about this story. We'll show you video of those ropes snapping, and how did the cruise line determine which passengers stay on the ship and which ones have to go home. We're also sharing news from Carnival Cruise Line today as they share new details on their new private destination, including the name, when we can book it, and all kinds of awesome details. We're also going to share news on the Carnival Freedom and her funnel. She will finally receive her winged tipped funnel later this year. We all need some time to spend in the islands. Let's go there now on Island Time. A big happy Monday to all you Islanders. We hope that you had a great weekend and your week is off to a great start. We are on Island Time. I am Derek. Let's drop our anchors and take some time to relax in the islands together as we catch up on the latest in cruising and cruise news. If you like to do that, be sure you're subscribed to this channel. Ring that bell to receive notifications so that when we upload new content, new cruise shows, new cruise experiences, you receive those. We've got a show full of cruise news for you today. We can't wait to share news with you from Carnival on their new private destination. Stay tuned for that. But first, we're getting to this. The P&O Britannia was visiting Mallorca over the weekend when a strong storm moved in and high winds moved in as well. The winds were so strong that you'll see in this video in just a second that the ropes holding the huge cruise ship to the pier snapped, literally snapped like toothpicks. The ship drifted and collided with a freight vessel, causing injuries to guests on board, causing even impact and damage to the ship. P&O Cruises, of course, immediately started an investigation to see, first off, is the ship okay? They had divers to make sure that the ship was okay underneath the waterline, and it was quickly determined that there was impact to the ship, especially a lifeboat on board. Listen to this from P&O Cruises, an official statement here. Following inspections, our third-party surveyor has confirmed that one of Britannia's lifeboats has sustained structural issues and cannot be repaired on board. These extraordinary circumstances mean that the ship is required by maritime regulations to return to Southampton with a reduced number of passengers on board. So great news that the ship is okay. There were some injuries on board, hopefully nothing life-threatening. Nothing has been reported life-threatening, but there were some injuries to passengers on board because of this collision. Good news is the cruise ship is okay for the most part. A lifeboat is damaged, meaning that there's not enough lifeboat capacity for all passengers to stay on the ship. So now some passengers are being asked to leave the ship. P&O said guest and crew. So far, we've only heard of guests being asked to leave the ship. Here's the number. 321 guests have been asked to end their vacation, their holiday, early. Get off the ship and go back home, while some passengers, the remaining passengers, get to stay on board and continue their cruise, their vacation, until Friday. I know what your first thought probably is. How did the cruise line determine which passengers get to stay on board and which passengers are going to be asked to leave the ship? Can you imagine? I can imagine that there was a small group, very small group of passengers who volunteered. Through this whole experience, the storm, the winds, furniture blowing around on Lido deck and things like that, that some passengers said, you know what, I've had enough, I'm ready to go home. I will be one of the 321 passengers to get off the ship. But I can also imagine that there wasn't 321 people volunteering to get off the ship. So now it goes to, how does P&O determine who's asked to leave the ship? Are there cabins on board maybe that are damaged, that will maybe not safe to stay in? That is not really a question because the ship would not set sail. But if there was damaged areas of the ship, maybe those people go home first. After that, what else could there be? Do you send home people who paid the less amount out of their pocket? Maybe their cruise was the cheapest. You send them home. Do you send home people who maybe booked the cruise last minute? Hey, you're the last one on, you're the first one off. You got to go home. Do you book people who have the least amount of loyalty status with P&O? Hey, you got to go. How do you determine which 321 people need to get off the ship so the ship can continue to sail with a safe number of passengers and lifeboats and etc.? What do you think about this? The magic sauce hasn't come out yet. Listen to this. This is Mark Beckwith, who's traveling right now on board the ship, and he says this. They have notified certain passengers by letter about flights home. I don't know how they have picked them. Maybe it's just random, and maybe it is. Maybe that's an option. We're still in port at the moment, but they're keeping us well informed with regards to updates over the Tawny, and we've all been asked to stay on board the ship today and not get off. From what we've been told, people are being put in hotels until they can get a flight home. Of course, that's a lot of people to find a last-second flight for. P&O has been really good and very professional. Great feedback there from a passenger on board. They are doing everything as best as they can. They're keeping the entertainment going. And apart from not being allowed off the ship, it's been back to normal today. What happened hasn't put me off cruising. It was a freak of nature, and it all happened within the space of 1 minute. Of course, Mark sharing those thoughts with local media. And first off, it's great to hear that P&O is treating people well. They're treating everything in a situation where they're trying to keep the fun going, keep the entertainment going, but taking care of people who need to be taken care of. My question is this. Even as Mark says, how do you select which people stay on board, which people get off? Share what you think maybe happened. And we're going to continue to dig, and maybe we'll find how these passengers were selected. Maybe it was random, maybe it wasn't. How do you think they should have selected these passengers? Let us know in the comments section below. Let's talk about Carnival Cruise Line now. And good news, right? Good news with Carnival Cruise Line as they announce the name of their private destination that's going to open up in 2025. It's going to be called Celebration Key. Celebration Key is going to be the name of the destination at Grand Bahama Cruise Port. Of course, we knew already. They had announced that they were building this new destination for all of us to enjoy. They announced it was going to be on the island of Grand Bahama. They announced that the beaches are going to be beautiful. It's going to be for Carnival Cruise Line only. That's exciting news. We're excited about that. But today they say it's going to be called Celebration Key. And bookings for the Celebration Key destination are set to open up next month. The facility itself is going to open up in July of 2025. So for all of you looking for those 2025 cruise schedules, they're coming out slowly. Galveston is here, Alaska is here, Caribbean and Bahama itineraries will be open very, very soon, next month. Listen to this. Christine Duffy, president of Carnival Cruise Line, shared this. We are working very closely with the government of the Bahamas and the Grand Bahama Port Authority to ensure that we are highlighting the very best of Grand Bahama and its culture combined with fun like only Carnival can provide. Invoking the natural beauty of Grand Bahama every day at Celebration Key will be a celebration of our guest own making with a variety of experiences and something for everyone. A lot of you have asked what's going to be included here. This is a private destination, and Carnival is really amping this up to be one that you're going to be able to relax on the beach. Over 1 mile of beautiful beach for you to relax, for you to hang out, for you to have a chill day with restaurants and bars and shopping and things like that. We haven't received much news other than that the beach is going to be there. There's going to be the traditional shops and food and things like that. But I know that Carnival is set to announce a lot more about Celebration Key. We're excited for that. Of course, be sure that you're tuned in. As Carnival releases updates, we will update you on that. I also wanted to share this from Carnival today. The Carnival Freedom, a lot of us remember the famous fire that took place, and it's hard to believe. That was May of 2022. Can you believe that? The pictures and video and images of the iconic funnel up in flames was something that a lot of us will never forget. We had Islanders actually on board the Freedom when it took place, and the Freedom had to take 3 weeks off, right? She got a temporary funnel in the place of one, the winged funnel. The funnel was the old school funnel. Some people didn't like it. Some people wanted to move their cruise literally because the Freedom didn't have the traditional funnel. She's had that funnel since about June, July of 2022. She received that funnel in Freeport, actually, emergency dry dock. Now Carnival says, and they told us this, they said when the Freedom has her next dry dock, she would receive their traditional funnel, and that's exactly what's going to take place. The Freedom is set to go into dry dock October the 5th through the 22nd in Spain, where she will receive the iconic well-tail funnel, and she'll also receive other routine maintenance that cruise ships receive, new carpets and bedding and things like that. No new venues have been announced for the Carnival Freedom during her dry dock, but we're excited she's finally going to receive the well-tail, the funnel. And I thought about this because I was thinking about it just last week, how iconic the well-tail is for those in the cruise community and for those outside the cruise community. Carnival has done an awesome job over the past 50 years of branding themselves and cruising with that funnel. There are people who don't cruise. And if you said, what logo is this? What major corporation does this logo belong to? And they could probably say Carnival Cruise Line if you showed them the funnel. I would venture to say that the Carnival well-tail funnel is the most iconic symbol of cruising across the entire industry. I ask you, do you agree with that? Do you think that that funnel is that famous, that popular, and that it represents cruising like I think it does? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. That was a quick show today, sharing the latest in cruise news. We hope you enjoyed it. If so, give us a thumbs up on this video. It takes just a second. It's one click right there. You got it, thumbs up. Others will be able to watch this video because you simply liked the video. We hope that you have a great Monday. Of course, we're set for a big week here on Island Time, sharing the latest in cruise news with you. We hope that you'll join us every single day right here on Island Time.